I'm going to cover the biggest news stories from the last 10 days in relation to the migrant crisis. Before I start, many of these stories involve upsetting crimes, but if you feel angry or upset, I believe that it should never be directed at migrants, but instead at the politicians, the unelected bureaucrats, and the individuals who made these decisions that don't affect them in their gated communities and in their gated homes, but they affect the more vulnerable people in our societies the most. We'll look from August 19th until August 28th, 2025. Watch until the end because the last few days actually happen to be the most shocking in my opinion. Let's begin on August 19th in the Netherlands. A 17-year-old girl named Lisa was stabbed to death while biking home. The attacker was a 22-year-old asylum seeker from Mali who was already in custody after multiple suspected sexual assaults just days earlier. Lisa called the police before the attack, telling them that she was being followed, but sadly, she didn't survive. This man had attempted to sexually assault one woman on August 10th, and he raped and beat another woman on August 15th, but he was released from custody before killing Lisa on August 19th. On the same day, also in the Netherlands, a Somali migrant was caught on video punching a female ticket inspector on public transport. The assault happened during a routine check and her male co-worker subdued the attacker. This video came out of an African group calling itself the Kingdom of Kubala, led by a self-proclaimed king and queen. They've set up camp in a Scottish woodland. They claim historical rights to the land and they plan to expand, which is raising local concerns about unauthorised settlements. Footage emerged showing a beach scene that was quite striking due to the large number of migrants present. This highlights the visible changes in public spaces due to mass migration. We're still on the same day, August 19th. In Ireland, a new housing estate in County Tipperary was completed and filled exclusively with migrants. Irish citizens were not allowed to apply despite there being a housing crisis which has seen many people, Irish people, struggling. It's not just Ireland dealing with a housing crisis. Much of the West is. Moving on to the 20th of August, this woman posted a picture from a viewing for a rental property in Australia, saying Australia is dealing with rental shortages worsened by high migration levels, also pushing up prices and making housing tougher for the locals. On the same day, a migrant in Milan smashed airport screens in a rage after facing some kind of issue in the airport. The Women's Safety Initiative in the UK posted, "We are sick and tired of the government prioritising the comfort of migrant men over the safety of British women." An African migrant in Ireland forged Garda vetting forms, putting vulnerable children at risk in the care of completely unvetted migrant staff. British citizens organised a mass march to protest immigration policies, showing the growing public frustration. Also on August 22nd, in Epping, which is a town in the UK, the Home Office appealed a court's ruling for 140 single male asylum seekers to leave a migrant hotel, which has been at the centre of a lot of controversy. They argued that the closure would hinder their duty to house asylum seekers and could spark more protests elsewhere. The controversy originally erupted after the hotel was reopened to house migrants in July, with frustrations that the government was prioritising these migrants with free hotel accommodations, whilst the local British people, such as those facing homelessness or housing shortages, were overlooked amid a national housing crisis. Tensions boiled over starting around July 21st, when protests began after a 41-year-old Ethiopian asylum seeker at the hotel, Hadush Kibatu, was charged with sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl in the town. He denied the charges. A second man from the hotel was charged with assaults around the same time. Demonstrations grew, with up to 2,000 people protesting at peaks, and on August 12th, Epping Forest District Council applied for a High Court injunction to stop the hotel from housing asylum seekers. Now that the Home Office has appealed the court's ruling, judges are set to rule on the appeal. And people have been concerned by, even just looking into some of the people staying in this hotel. If you look into their social media, you can see weaponry, and it's just, these people aren't being vetted properly at all. This post got almost 500,000 views by Chris Rose. He says, "This is what annoys so many British taxpayers. On the right is a homeless man in Birmingham, on the verge of having a breakdown after he hit rock bottom. On the left is an illegal migrant who has been staying in the Bell Hotel in Epping. So many things wrong here." August 23rd, a woman is in hospital after being raped on Canary Wharf beside a migrant hotel, leading some to believe it was a migrant who committed the crime. August 24th, a migrant in Ireland was recorded threatening to kill babies, causing widespread shock and fear, understandably. A young American man in Germany fought off knife-wielding migrants to protect two women on a train. He was stabbed in the face, but fortunately he survived.
If y'all didn't think that Europe had an immigration problem, especially Germany, let me drop some knowledge on you. It is 11:57 right now. In 3 minutes, that man that assaulted that young woman yesterday will be released from custody. He'll be released from custody because he's not a citizen of Germany. He's not a citizen of the EU for that matter. He doesn't even belong in here. He's an immigrant, an illegal one, a drug dealer, and very popularly known here, especially by the police. This is not the first time this has happened. It's not the first time that man had beat up a woman, and it's not the first time that the other guy decided to take a swing in my face with a 6-inch blade. If they could do this to the people of Germany, and then just get released 12 hours later, even less at this point, where's the law? Where's the structure? If Germans are held to that law and that structure, but these people could just come in, swing knives, and hurt, abuse, terrorize, and oppress citizens of Germany, then
he seriously is a true hero. August 25th, 3 men were arrested in Germany for raping a 19-year-old woman. On the same day, stats began doing the rounds online. Violent crimes against women and girls are up 59% since 2021. Sexual offences up 10% in a year via the Times. Rapes recorded 2,000. England and Wales 8,000, Germany 8,000, France 7,500, Poland about 2,000. In 2024, England and Wales 68,000, Germany 39,000, France 42,000, Poland 1,100. Poland is the one that's resisted the influx of migration. Scarborough Beach in the UK also saw large migrant groups. Poland is facing backlash from the EU, which is criticising it for its strict migration rules. Poland is facing backlash from the EU for its firm immigration policies, which reject Muslim migrants in an effort to safeguard Poland's national identity, culture and values. August 26th, a masked gang with machetes attacked a man in a Leeds park during the day. A UK rape victim spoke out against Nigel Farage, sharing her personal story with the Muslim rape gangs in the UK. This is around the same time that many people, including Elon Musk, are endorsing Advance UK over reform, as they believe that they will take proper measures to address the immigration problem, and they don't have much faith in Nigel Farage. August 26, Lucy Connolly was released after 10 months of a 31-month prison sentence for a deleted social media post about immigrants. She posted this hours after a stabbing attack in Southport, UK, where 3 young girls aged 6, 7 and 9 were killed and several others were injured during a Taylor Swift-themed kids' dance class. False rumours spread online after the attack, claiming that the attacker was a Muslim asylum seeker, but it was actually a 17-year-old Axel Rudakobana who was born in the UK to African parents. So for the sake of transparency, I'm going to show you the post that she posted, which got her imprisoned. Mass deportation now. Set fire to all the effing hotels full of the bees, for all I care. While you're at it, take the treacherous government and politicians with them. I feel physically sick knowing what these families will now have to endure. If that makes me racist, so be it. As I've said, I really believe that if you direct your anger at the migrants, it is misdirected and a complete waste of your energy. Direct it at the politicians and the unelected bureaucrats. That part of her message was spot on. Any individuals, any corporations, agencies, NGOs, whatever, that facilitated this, direct your energy and your emotion there. A migrant was chased by police on a scooter after committing theft, and unfortunately he drove into a wall and he died, which then saw Switzerland's first migrant riots. Very chaotic scenes out of Luzon. We're still on August 26th. Migrants were moved into a house in Barrow, which led to a local confronting police about their priorities.
How's things? Been here for 2 days straight now. What's the crack? I mean, like, you know, residential area, and I know my father is getting a bit worried, so can you elaborate about what's happening?
Well, it's nothing to concern himself with. We've just been asked to.
But it's a little bit concerning considering you're going to be parked there for like more than 24 hours. Isn't there something better to do? You know, there's lots of crime going on in this city, this town. There's lots of bad things that are happening. And I don't think that this bit of graffiti that is on here... Okay, right, I understand the context, right? The graffiti on there shouldn't probably be there because it's a church. I don't condone any kind of graffiti on a religious church, right? However, right, put things into context, and the fact that the people of this town, and it's been like this for 20 odd years, we've been left behind. This is the reason why people are upset. This is the reason why people are aggravated. I'll give you some information, yeah? Maybe you guys probably don't even know about it. So I was walking down here on this main street, yeah? Just walking down here, and this whole part here was cornered off, taped up. Do you know about this, yeah? It was all cornered off down by the Salvation Army because there was a load of illegal immigrants coming into the Salvation Army there. So it was all cornered off. There was 3 police vans, yeah? There were 3 police vans, and there was an ambulance there, right? So if they were taping off the bottom of the street, some severe crime happened there. So we have every single right as concerned citizens to be like, well, there's something going on here. There's something happening. Are our women and children safe? They're not safe. And I was talking to the police officer here before. I wasn't recording it, but I was talking to the police officer here before, and he was like, well, look, I'll take it from your guys' perspective, right? You're just being told what, you know, from the higher-ups what to do. I get that. I understand. But I'm going to sympathise with you as people, as human beings now, right? As people who are, I don't know where you're from, but I'm going to assume you're from a local area because you're local police, right? There's going to be a point in time within the next 4 years where you're going to have to draw a line in the sand. And the line in the sand is this: you protect the British citizens, the British native people of this land, or you protect the Islamist communists. So it's which side do you prefer to side on? And if you have to go against your higher ups, who are obviously Islamists, who are obviously communists, who are obviously telling you what to do, as human beings, we are going to be the ones who suffer. Every day I hear on the news, every single day I hear on the news, a child being raped, a child being molested. This is going to happen to Barrow. This is going to happen in this town. There are going to be more rapes, there are going to be more murders, there are going to be all of these things. And this tiny little bit of graffiti is freedom of speech, and it's part of a protest. Like I say, like I say, graffitiing on a church, probably not the best idea. Probably what I would have done, if you wanted to say something, there is a Labour office down there, maybe have a protest out there because they're the ones in power. But as I would say, as a concerned citizen, my heart goes out to you because I know that you've got a tough job. And maybe the things that I'm saying might resonate with you. But
Go on and give us a shot.
this government, the people that are in power, yeah, they are not for you either. They are not for you. And I understand we're just following orders. But that's what the Nazis did. That's what the Nazis did. That's what the Nazis said. They said, we're just following orders. And 6 million Jews died. In the next few years, there'll be more British citizens that are going to get arrested. There are more British citizens that will be under an authoritarian dictatorship because these guys are just following orders. And it's time that we need to speak out. Now, I will say there's a caveat to this. Peacefully. This is what I'm saying. You must peacefully say your voice. Don't give these guys grief because they're just following orders. They're just doing their job. They're just an arm of the communists and the Islamists.
Elon Musk posted on social media promising to fund legal actions against officials accused of covering up grooming gang crimes in the UK, sharing another post about 85 British cities which allegedly were complicit in the cover-up, which involved vulnerable orphans and care system children being targeted by predominantly Pakistani Muslim gangs. August 27th, a 14-year-old girl was arrested after wielding an axe and knife to protect her sister from alleged migrant harassment.
You don't dare!
Yes, you have a knife.
You don't! Hey, I'm fucking 12 me! You're fucking bad and
Why are you fucking with us?
You're fucking kid bashers!
Show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife.
Get away from us!
Show the knife. Show the knife.
Don't touch her!
That's it. That's it. Show the knife.
Don't touch my little sister!
Show the knife. That's it.
Don't fucking touch my little sister! She ain't fucking 12! Wait till I fucking catch you, mate! She is fucking 12 and you just battered me, mate! Wait till I fucking catch you, mate!
Yeah. Show the knife. Maratha.
Don't touch her! You're to me! Don't touch her!
Still the same day, a migrant entered a primary school in Glasgow and stripped naked.
So obviously what we know is that a man entered St Mungo's primary school. He then exposed himself in front of staff members, was arrested and is charged with indecent exposure. Now the man in question is Nicholas Sams. Now Nicholas Sams is a TikToker with quite a fairly significant following. His TikTok account focuses mostly regarding religion. He describes himself as a black African man living in Scotland. Now the account obviously is highly focused on religion. What he basically says is that he used to be Christian and over the last sort of 6 months he's converted to Muslim and he's now sort of preaching the Muslim religion online. Now in the last half hour he's actually posted a video where he says that his Muslim brothers have been calling him out on his behaviour and what he done, which obviously shows that being Muslim does not make you a bad person. Every religion has bad people in it and they are calling him out for his behaviour. In this country you're innocent until proven guilty. However, I don't believe that a crime carried out in a primary school of that nature is worth the risk of being bailed. I believe that you should be kept inside while you're waiting on your trial.
A migrant tried to snatch a 6-year-old child into his car in Dublin, Ireland.
What's his name on Facebook?
I don't know.
Can you get Morgan over and stand beside my car?
Yeah.
Yeah. My phones and all are on the seat there.
Yeah.
Wherever you're from, and it's only comes like this, and in fact, look at your kids, what are you going to do about it?
Bear in mind, it was my fucking daughter. It was my daughter who's sitting around the house screaming.
All for a dirty Tito, all this for a dirty Tito. I'm telling you now, his face covered, he's guilty. I'll catch it down there, I'm telling you now, I'll do it. 10 year old, you dirty little catchy bastard.
Right, boys.
He's never trying to grab one of my kids.
Immigrants clashed with police in Germany during protests. Still the same day, August 27th, a homeless migrant beat a mother of 3 to death in the UK after she gave him shelter. Migration issues even made it onto mainstream TV on August 27th.
I've got to be honest, that is a major worry. Now, taking politics out of this, let's just look at the country, Tim.
Yeah.
This country is built on immigration, legal immigration. You know, a lot of the nurses, the doctors that have saved my mum's life have come over here from other countries, are living a great life. They're paying into this tax system. They're helping this country thrive. I find it absolutely insane that all these people, one, are risking their lives coming across the channel like that they are. But two, when they get here, it does seem, and I think this is why a lot of Labour voters as well are now sitting there going, there's something wrong here. It seems, welcome, come on in. This is the narrative we're being fed. Here's the hotel. Here's the phones. Here's the iPad. Here's the NHS in reception of your hotel. Here's 3 meals a day. Here's a games room in the hotel. Have a lovely time and welcome. And then there's people that have lived here all their lives that are struggling. They're homeless. Let's not even discuss our homeless. That are people living on the streets, veterans, all of this. Now, this isn't me getting on my soapbox because let me be honest, everyone's going to have an opinion about this and you're going to upset someone some which way. I believe that something major needs to be done about this. The money that it's costing us, the amount of people that are in this country that we have no idea who they are, what they've done, what they're capable of, and clearly we see a lot of it in the press at the moment, some of what some are doing, it's not all, what some are doing to people in this country. How can, if I turn up at Heathrow Airport as a British citizen and I've left my passport in Spain, I've got to stand at that airport and won't be let in and got to get this, but if I arrive on a boat in Calais, I get taken to a 4-star hotel. I've got to be honest, that is a major worry.
Sky News also reported on migration, noting the changes in places like Bournemouth Beach.
A snapshot of Britain in the 80s. Beachgoers in the seaside town of Bournemouth, a place which has always been a magnet for holidaymakers and seasonal workers. Fast forward to the final days of this summer and the change is undeniable. In the Bournemouth area between the 2011 and 2021 censuses, the non-British born population went up by 47% and immigration everywhere has risen significantly since then. On the seafront, we find immigration is something white British people want to talk about, but not openly and not on camera.
This post on social media by a hotel owner in the UK blew up.
They want me to house illegal immigrants in my 26-bedroom hotel here in Cambridge. I was offered by a company that offered to pay me £35,000 per month for almost 7 years. That's a lot of money. And they were going to use it to house illegal immigrants. And I said, no. Now, commercially, does it make sense? Well, I don't care if I make more money or less money. I want to run it as a hotel. On principle, that's what I decided. Sometimes you have to stick to your principles and put your values over money.
August 28th. An African migrant in Italy slaughtered a dog named Merlin to eat him, and this was after he had tortured another dog. On the same day, a migrant was caught in a sting trying to meet a child for sex in England.
Got any girls?
Yes, ma'am.
How old?
4 years.
4 years old?
Yeah.
So why are you doing this when you've got a 4-year-old child yourself?
Very sorry.
Sorry, it's not
Very sorry.
We're going to have to call the police.
3 men were also charged with kidnapping an 11-year-old girl in Birmingham. 2 women were sexually assaulted in Newcastle by a man who was described by media as having slightly tanned skin. Still August 28th, an Iranian migrant stabbed another migrant 15 times. They were both staying in an asylum seekers hotel in Oxford. Muslims were seen occupying public roads in the south of Portugal doing prayer. UK police removed St. George's flags from public areas. People really felt they could have been spending their time better. A North African migrant attacked an 81-year-old German grandmother. Still August 28th, more stats started to do the rounds, showing that foreign nationals get charged with a very high share of the sexual offences in London. Some good news, Crete is now seeing success after implementing no tolerance for migrants, reducing arrivals. In July, they introduced new rules for migrants, with migrants facing detention in closed facilities or immediate return without processing. The UN and Amnesty International criticised this decision as violating international refugee law and discriminating based on arrival method. But arrivals dropped significantly, with only 55 recorded in early August. And we'll just end with Tommy Robinson's announcement of an event on September 13th, which is a free speech event.
There is a war being waged on Britain, and it's being waged by our leaders, and it's a war against free speech. Our weapon is free speech. They can't allow it, because if everyone can exercise their free speech, if we have platforms for free speech, we can highlight their abuses, we can highlight their corruption. On the 13th of September, we started organising United Kingdom rallies. I think the last one had over 100,000 people. We want to hold a free speech festival in London as a show of defiance. And at this free speech festival, it's going to be United Kingdom /MAGA/Mega. United Kingdom, because people, and I'm sorry in Scotland, I'm sorry Wales, I'm sorry Northern Ireland, it's going to be in our capital city again. It has to be. People coming from every corner of the globe, speakers from Australia, from Canada, from America, from Denmark, from Germany, from Holland, from Poland. We're not just uniting the kingdom, we're uniting the world. And London is going to be the centre for it. It's going to be a festival of free speech. It's going to be a day of celebration to celebrate our weapon and to celebrate what they hate most.
I hope that everybody will be safe and that everybody will have a good time. So that's it for today. I just felt, the media isn't reporting on this stuff, so I wanted to make a place where I can just kind of put it all together and say, look, this is what happened in the last week or so. I just thought this could be a video that we share with friends or family who we think might be open-minded to listening, and at least maybe they'll understand a little bit better where we're coming from on this. It kind of brings us to a baseline of having seen the same reports and the same information, because if someone's just consuming mainstream media, they're really not going to be coming from the same they're really not getting all of the information, So please do share this with anybody that you think might benefit from it, or, that it might open their mind a little bit. And it's not that I expect people to change their opinion, because someone could watch this and still say, yeah, no, I still think that the migration thing is absolutely fine as it is. But at least we're coming from the same kind of baseline of information. Yeah, please share this if you think it would be beneficial. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.